everyone. Today I will be presenting about the topic of air pollutions in our geography lessons on page 92. Hopefully when you walk away from this video, you will have enough understanding of what exactly is air pollution, what causes air pollution, what's the problem with air pollution, and there might be some solutions, but right now we don't exactly have a proper solution. Before we move forward to this slides and talk about it, I want to define what exactly is air pollution. The word air pollution has two separate words, which are air and pollution. So basically it's pollutions inside the air. It could be caused by carbon dioxide, nitrogen dioxide, hydrogen sulfide, and so on and so forth. The first problems that I'm going to talk about is the rise in populations. There have been some speculation over the years that the rise in population could cause air pollution. Not because that humans excrete toxic gas from their body, because that's basically impossible, but rather, the cause of rise in population which causes air pollution is actually the more energy like electricity and rises of uses like vehicles and rise of growing meat in order to feed the populations. To put it simply, the rise in population causes more energy usage and the rise in carbon dioxide emission will happen because of more energy production. The next slide that we'll be talking about is the atmospheric situation. To prove that the rise in population causes global warming, you're going to have to look at this graph at the bottom here, which shows that the temperature since 1901 and until 2020, it has been shown that the temperature, or at least the average temperature of the surface, is rising, which causes by the rise in populations. And the reason for the rises in population is because of the awareness of infectious diseases. Like after the Dark Age, when we actually know about bacteria and stuff, we actually start to understand that humans actually die because of bacteria and other diseases like viruses, and because of that people has found medicines to cure all those diseases. But at the same time, the amount of people has been born and the more people being saved. The source of air pollution has been speculated like a lot, but the source of air pollution has a huge amount of factors. There's no one single factor that causes air pollution because carbon dioxide isn't the only molecule in this world that absorbs and stores heat. Water and other molecules do absorb and releases energy when balance of stable temperature changes. But in this case, we are only talking about carbon dioxide emission. In the pictures below, you can see that the carbon emissions or greenhouse gas emission has been found to be 25% for electricity and heat production, 24% for agriculture, like as I said, the growth of animals and other growth of plants as well. Buildings, which is only 6%, not that much. 14% for transportation, which as expected because of the amount of cars and the amount of productions and the amount of people being rises. And 21% for the industries, like any single factories that produces fabric uses electricity. But the more fabric they produces, the more electricity they uses, and the more rises in greenhouse gases. And the other 10% is just other energy usage, like for example, you use this for your aircon, for your fan, for your other electrical uses, which causes the more energy productions, which causes carbon dioxide emission. So the results of air pollutions are not exactly visible immediately, but the result of air pollutions can be quite catastrophic. Like the more carbon dioxide exists, the more heat it absorbs from the sun, and then it releases when there's a difference in temperature. Like for example, in the Arctic, the ice has been melted and causes rise in ocean level. Other air pollutions, like for example hydrogen sulfide and other carcinogenic, like benzene, they will cause strokes, heart disease, lung cancer, acute and chronic respiratory diseases. In 2020, there was an incident where a house in Norway was swept away to the ocean due to softening in the soil and breakage in soil, which was resulted by the rise in ocean level to the soft layer of the soil, which breaks the soil. Although the house was originally designed to only last for a few years, but the result was clear that it happens. The third result of air pollution is rise in floods and hurricanes. Rise in ocean level also means rise in floods, and when floods reaches the ground, they get heated from the ground and they heat faster, which causes higher humidity inside the air. And the more humidity inside the air, the more condensation of water in the air, which causes drift in air with the natural flow of air, and you create a hurricane, which was clear as day, like the hurricane caused in America in August 2022. My final slides that we'll be talking about is data collection techniques. In order to prove that air pollution is there, we have to find a change in things that causes the problem. In our day and age, we use artificial satellites to measure the average change in temperature on the Earth's atmosphere and compare it with previously collected data. This is only targeting change in temperature, while other factors like carcinogenic and poisonous gas like hydrogen sulfide is not measured. Other techniques like finding the source of it by finding the amount of reports in one area to another area to find the more reports in one area that is basically the source. And you can basically reverse search that and find the source of air pollution. While that is not a perfect technique, but it is a technique. So thank you everybody for listening and your attention. Hopefully you understand a little bit about air pollution, and thank you for listening.